Alright, so welcome back to the channel. Today we begin another brand new series, and this is going to be quite a chaotic one. We're going to be looking at Formula 1 controversies over a race weekend. This could go one of two ways. Either I will get skinned alive, beheaded, and then hanged in the middle of the Trafalgar Square, or everyone will agree with me. So I think I know which one it's going to be. So yeah, this series is exactly what I just said, looking at all the stuff that happened over the Belgian Grand Prix this time. I've got quite a few things written down. A lot of them are controversies, and some of them are just general things that happened. And I'd say 99% of it is about Red Bull, because everyone's looking at Red Bull, of course it is. So let's not waste any time and get into the first thing. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is everyone saying, well, when I mean everyone, I mean BBC journalists, basically, saying that the Red Bull cars are not equal. There ain't much to say about it. It's just a load of bollocks, because why would you want to damage your own driver? That's literally all you have to say about it. It's quite stupid. And yes, there are people in the world that do believe that they really do make Sergio's car even slower than Max's, which is just dumb when you say it aloud. So let's quickly move into the next thing. Right, so this is, again, to do with Red Bull. Wow, who would have guessed? This is with a sprint race when Sergio Perez and Lewis Hamilton collided. Hamilton got a 5-second penalty and 2 penalty points, and not everyone, but I'd say 75% of people thought that the penalty was stupid, unjustifiable, and just wrong. So here I'm going to show you two different angles. Here's the first one in slow motion. Yeah, so you can see there's one angle. Make of that of what you will. And here's another angle from Lewis Hamilton's onboard, so you can get another look. I'll give my opinion after. There you go. So there you go, the second angle. And my opinion is that the penalty, I'd say, is 70 to 30 deserved. 70% deserved, 30% not. Reason is well, you know, I've only been watching F1 for 2 years, 3 years, so I could be completely wrong. And if I am, I apologize. But to me, from what it looks like, Hamilton understeers into Sergio Perez. He literally drives into him. The penalty was for causing a collision. In my mind, he caused a collision. Although, like, sometimes with understeer, you can't really control it, I think. I still think it was a deserved penalty. Even though that is in the extreme minority, that is what I think. Moving on. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the lap 1 crash between Oscar Piastri and Carlos Sainz. The reason this has stirred up a bit of a controversy is because, well, mainly who to blame and what has been said. So first of all, I'm going to show you what Carlos Sainz said after the race on Twitter. He said, "Not what we wanted today. Racing incident, but Oscar was too optimistic. He was never side by side, and that move was never really worked in Spa. Congrats to the team and Charles on the encouraging result. We'll keep pushing after the break." And I will now show you an onboard and the radio message after the incident from Oscar Piastri. Alright, so here we go then. Race start. As you can see, Piastri on the inside, Carlos Sainz on the outside. Carlos Sainz locks up, and then Piastri sort of goes into a gap, and he had to say, "I don't know what he was doing, I was there, and he just turned in like I didn't exist." Now, to me, in my opinion, everyone is saying it was Sainz's fault. I can see why. However, I think it's Piastri's fault, and the reason is, well, there's one specific reason. You can sort of split it into two. I'd say, first of all, Sainz is right in saying that I've never really seen someone go down the inside like that before. I have, just not very often. Number two, because of Sainz's lockup and Hamilton being next to him, he had one of two options. It was either go wide to avoid Piastri and crash into Hamilton, or avoid Hamilton and crash into Piastri. He obviously chose to crash into Piastri. So I suppose you could call it a racing incident, But, you know, it's 50-50. It is 50-50. So, yeah, that's my opinion on that. And we've got one more thing to cover in terms of controversies, and then I'll move into some general news. So the last thing I'm going to be talking about is Lewis Hamilton saying this: if I was in Sergio's car, Max would not be having the same time he's having now. And I've sort of put this in a bullet point as, in general, it's either Hamilton saying that if he was in Perez's car, he would be giving Max a hard time, and Hamilton in general trying to find ways to slow Red Bull down. And I've got two things to say. One, if he was in Sergio's car, he would absolutely be giving Max a hard time. Why? Because he's like one of the best drivers of all time. Of course he would be. Perez is a fantastic driver, but Hamilton's one of the all-time greats. There's a difference. And number two, no one wanted to slow Mercedes down, or it was not a big deal when Hamilton kept winning, or Hamilton didn't bring it up himself. So, a little bit hypocritical there, but no one really cares, do they? Like, you're not going to drive for Red Bull. The FAA aren't going to slow Red Bull down. No one cares, right? Controversy's done. Let's move into some other interesting points of discussion from the weekend. Now, the first thing I want to be talking about is why in the blue, green, orange, yellow, violet, red, fly do they keep hosting the Belgian Grand Prix when it's pissing down of rain for 3 weeks straight? I never understand this. The sprint race got delayed by 45 minutes, I think. Luckily, the race was like the only day it didn't rain. Practice, it was pissing down. The sprint qualifying had to be delayed. It was a complete nightmare. And as you can see, this isn't from this is from the week I'm recording it, the week afterwards. And as you can see, Tuesday, free rain. Wednesday, Thursday, the same. Friday, little bit less. Saturday, straight back to it. And then Monday, thunderstorms. Like, and it's been like that for the last 2 weeks, and it's going to be like that for the week after in Belgium. Now, I get like Belgium's always been the last race before the summer break, but could they really not switch it around and have it a different time when it's not pissing down of rain? Or for all I know, I don't look at Belgium weather every day. Maybe it just rains every day. If it does, I feel so sorry. As a person from England, I know what it's like raining every single day, but surely places like Belgium have got your dry months. But I just feel like to make sure that Spa 2021 doesn't happen again, they should definitely think about having the race sometime that isn't pissing down. So yeah, moving on. Right, so I got this video from Red Bull, and, well, you remember what happened on the Hungary podium? A little incident with Lando Norris and a first place trophy. Well, feast your eyes upon this. They've only gone and broke another one. I don't even know how you do that. Like, what are these trophies made of? Are they glued together? Like, how are they breaking so easily? Like, if I get, like, I don't even know. What's like a metal object? Say if I did get a trophy and it got pushed over, even though it's on ground level and it broke, I'm sending that back. I don't care. That's bollocks. What are they being welded together with? Or is it not welded at all? It just comes off. Like, it's like a bit of Lego, you know? I don't even understand, but bit of a clumsy accident, but luckily they did manage to repair the trophy, and it is now on its way to Milton Keynes. So I suppose that's one good thing. And now I believe I've only got 2 more things left to cover. Yeah, so, first thing, I want to talk about the new qualifying format that they tried in Hungary. That was fantastic. They should really do that every single race weekend. The team I support wasn't on pole position, which is a bit annoying, but it was a very, very exciting qualifying. You had surprises, the grid order was slightly different, and obviously every car responds different to different compounds, so it was really, really exciting. And I definitely feel like they should do it every single weekend. I don't know why they don't. was a fantastic idea and it worked really well. Carry it on. And the final thing I want to be talking about in this video is the Alpine management sacking. I don't know if any of you heard, you probably did, during the weekend or on Twitter. Alpine sacked the team principal at Marzaf now, and let me find it. Right, with the sporting director, Alan Permain, I think that's how you pronounce it, sorry if it's wrong, and the thing is I don't get, and also Pat Fry is leaving for Williams. Now, if I was to build a Formula 1 team and I wanted to be like really successful, winning races, contending for championships, or even as most as competing for podiums, getting rid of my staff every 6 months wouldn't be what I would be doing. I would get someone good and stick with them. Because every single different principal, every different manager is going to have a different philosophy and a different way of doing things. And sometimes it's extreme, and that's when you see, like, Alpine, they've dropped off in pace. They're really slow now. Not slow, but compared to last year, they were the 4th fastest team. Now they're like the 6th or 7th. You know, and seeing like Aston Martin jump from like 8th last year to 3rd now. You see McLaren starting the season like bottom, and now they're 2nd fastest or even 3rd fastest car. Like, I don't think sacking your management is the right way to go. But hey, I'm just a child that sits in my room all day. I can't really question it because I know nothing about F1 management or running a team. So, that's going to do it for the first ever episode of F1 Controversies. Of course, I'm making this episode now, but there's no F1 until Zandvoort, next month. So, you won't see this series come back until that happens, unless silly season starts early and a load of shit kicks off in the middle of August, of which I will be covering. Thank you for watching. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!